Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here, Mr. Nile Scala. And Billy Tucci! What the heck you up to, bro?
Nothing much, man. I'm tiny Billy Tucci right now. There we go. Hey, thank you for doing that for Black Wolf Senpai, man. That was awesome.
Oh, dude, we have to, you know. It's he's one of our brothers, man. A fallen soldier, you know?
Yep, he's a fallen Marine, and we lost him Sunday. And his wife Deborah got in touch with us today. I didn't even notice it, and it's just a shock to everybody. Tug even sent me a message on Twitter, and asked me if I know any details, and see if we can do something for the family. I emailed his wife to see if she could send us her address, so I could send her a sympathy card. But that's tough, man. It's real tough. But he's with us in spirit, and I know he loves these guys. So anyway, welcome. Crowdfunding Centurions and Crusaders all the world over. Tonight we end the week, and it's been a great week. Ended on a bit melancholy, but it was a great week this week, Nile.
Yes.
2 guests with 1 fantastic graphic novel. These 2 have slid on their masks to hide their identity as they crawl through the shadows of the night and attack a collection of ninjas with their bare hands. As daylight rises, they stand in pools of blood and ready themselves to take on their mortal enemy one last time. Mr. Scala, if you may, could you please introduce our super team?
Mr. Rod Luper and John Hervey. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
What's up?
Yeah, boys. Good to see you, fellas.
Good to see you. Good to see you guys.
Thanks, brothers.
Welcome to Crowdfunding Comics, Mr. Luper. You're a little bit familiar with the scene here. John, it's your first time. Welcome for coming on, man. This is awesome. And we're excited to have you guys on. I know you guys were supposed to be on last week, but my schedule got all screwy, so I appreciate you guys pushing back a week, and we still have time because you guys still have 6 days left on your campaign.
Boom! Yeah.
So we're, like you said, we got six days left. Appreciate you guys having us on, man.
Absolutely. Well, John, we've had Super Luper on, who we've deemed and termed Super Luper, and he is Super Luper.
Yeah,
whatever.
We'll get back to him.
Sticking by
it. But John, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you're from California, right?
Yeah.
And we've interviewed a couple of creators from the West Coast. And what is it about that side of the United States that gives birth to so many fantastic creators?
I don't know, maybe just a lot of dreamers out in California, man. But I'm a California boy. I was born in Inglewood, but actually just a couple months ago, the family and I, we just moved to Houston. So
nice.
I brought my creativity out here to Houston.
Great community out there too, because you got Terry Moore and Robin Moore live there. The Comics Palooza is there. Our very own Jennifer Van Damsel is there.
Nice.
Yep. So you're in good company out there.
Yeah, brother. So there's like you said, there's some good talent out here as well. It's funny, when I was in California, back, kind of back in the mid to early 90s, I worked at Motown Animation.
Oh, cool.
And they had an imprint that was published through Image. It was Motown Machine Works, and that was the first time I actually got into comics. I was working for Michael Davis.
Yeah, great, love him.
Yeah, he's kind of the one that kind of got my foot in the door. But it's funny, I was kind of his gopher. He was like, "Look, John," he's like, I know you love comics. He's like, You're never gonna get to write for me, okay? So go get my coffee, and So he's telling me all this stuff, and there was one book, a buddy of mine, Chuck Drost, had this idea called Trouble Man. And he and I had thrown ideas around, and it was his project for a long time. And just being the nerd I am, I started writing some story arcs for it. And Michael had hired a guy to write the book, and he had solicitations already in Diamond. And the dude he didn't produce. The dude didn't write.
Oh, man.
So I came to the office on a Thursday, and Mike said, "Hey, I want you to go. I want you to leave." He's like, "I want you to come back on Tuesday with a script. Oh. And if it's shit, you'll never work again."
Oh, damn.
So the way he would say is like, "Look, John,
Exactly.
This motherfucker, fuck me back. I want you to get your shit, go home, and come back Tuesday with a script. If your script ain't good, you ain't gonna work ever again, this motherfucker. Right?
Right.
I felt like I just tripped back into 1990, man. I was like,
I need script.
But the thing was, I didn't tell him until I saw him at Comic-Con this year. He was like, "You mother," because like I had already written stuff up. So I went home and I just dusted up the stuff I already been working on for months.
Nice.
Back in, you know what I mean?
Nice.
You know, brought it back in on a Tuesday, and he's like, "This is okay," and that's how it went. So we did a 4-issue miniseries that was published, you know, kind of before things shut down over there, and that was kind of my intro to being able to actually publish in comics.
So how did you end up working for the Motown company and end up working with Mike? How did you get there from, you know, being young Johnny boy, you know, and you got $1 and a dream in your pocket, and the eyes the size of saucers, and you're gonna take on the world.
A buddy of mine, Gene Bong, he's actually a video game executive producer now. He was working there, and he was working he's kind of managing the talent, you know. So he got my foot in with Michael. You know, I was just a kid with a lot of dreams and a lot of ideas, and who isn't? I mean, come on, man. If it wasn't for comics, I wouldn't even read today. You know, it's like my mom, my as a kid, my mom's supposed to be like, "Why do you get this boy so many comic books?" Because he actually reads something.
Yeah.
You know? He actually is literate. You know? I just need like some pictures to go along with it, but yeah. So. You know, so I'd like to say it was like some story of like amazing talent, dude. It wasn't. My friend got me in the door, but like, damn it, once I got in the door, I wasn't gonna get kicked out.
That's right, brother. Amen for that one, man.
Totally professional.
Yeah. So I mean, what were you reading growing up though that like really kind of wanted you to get into comics?
So I was reading. You know,
excuse me.
When I first started reading comics, you know, there weren't really comic book shops. I mean, comics were at the local drugstore. So like I would go with my mom to the drugstore and we pick up books. You know, it was mostly, you know, kind of, you know, some Marvel and DC books. So I picked up Spider-Man, I picked up Batman, and I picked up Batman because the Super Friends was on. You know, so it's like I started picking up some of those books, but then I started picking up some of the Marvel books. I'll never forget, I think it was Avengers 182. It's the one with the giant Crusher Creel, and he's like holding Miss Marvel, and like I picked up this book and I read it and I said to my mom, I am a comic book collector. And she's like, that's good, baby. That's good. I make one of the biggest like proclamations.
The statement.
I mean, this is like, you know, damn. I'm like, and she was just like, that's good, baby. You know,
that's good boy now.
At that point, I knew I was no longer a casual comic book reader because that book, it blew my mind. You know, I mean, it's like I picked up an Iron Man book before. I'd actually picked up Miss Marvel before. You know, I'd picked up all these different characters. And I'm like, damn, they're all here in this one book. And this book is awesome. It was John Byrne art, who I didn't know John Byrne was at the time. Man. But I was just like, you know, come on. It was like peanut butter jelly. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
There you go.
Beautiful.
I'm like, the best of the best.
What did you gravitate more to? Did you gravitate more towards the Marvel books or the DC books?
You know what? I was one of those kids that I had some of my favorites in both.
Yep.
You know, because a lot of my buddies, they were just straight Marvel guys, and they were just like, I don't read DC. They're dumb comics. Well, I still liked a bunch of them, so I still picked them up. You know, I always loved the team up books. I always loved Justice League. Mm-hmm. I read Batman on the DC side. Avengers, that's what got me in. So once I started reading Avengers, I started reading all the different characters. I started reading Thor, you know, and I actually read a lot of Hulk as well. Spidey, come on, you can't go wrong with Spidey. I just, you know, basically any money I had, they went into comic books. That's pretty much how it worked.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you still have your comic collection?
Oh, yeah, man.
Right? You never let it go. Never let it go.
Never.
Let me tell you, my cousin, and, you know, he called me nearly in tears because his mom threw away, like, his books. He's like, I went over to the house to get my stuff. And she's like, I cleared out the attic.
Oh. No.
and I'm just like, damn.
It's like,
I mean,
bro,
I remember,
let me buy you a drink.
he had the Daredevil. He had the Frank Miller Daredevil series.
Yep.
Oh,
So he had those books. You know, when I mean, that was the first time I watched when the whole thing with Elektra. Oh my gosh, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
totally,
I didn't even know what to think.
I remember that.
You know, he had Alpha Flight when Vindicator blew up. I remember reading that book because you thought he was gonna, you know, he was fixing his suit and then his wife came in, and you're just like, that didn't just happen. I was like, there's got to be another page. What the hell? He's dead. You know?
Yeah.
That's the kind of feeling that we need to bring back, man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the young kids, that's the feeling, man. It's hard to bring, because I was talking with John and my friends now competing with video games and internet and mobile phones. It's difficult to get that wonder, like John said. Whoa, what happened on next page? What happened next month? We kind of start to lose that. It's sad.
Yeah, I think we are, man.
We need to bring
I think
back
technology took a lot of that away. You know?
Yeah.
I think it took a lot of that wonder away, because now, you know, it's almost like you forget to let your mind do the imagination, you know, do the imaginating for you, and instead you now pick up a controller and you go into a virtual world, you know. So now you're playing in a world that's created for you, than one that you can kind of build up, because you could read a comic book, right? And until the next issue comes, you can speculate and you can kind of create the story in your head, and you kind of stay hyped up, and you know, there's always something to look forward to, you know. Games, you can do the same thing, but it's just a little, I don't know, I think it takes some of the imagination out of it, you know?
Yeah. No, I fully agree.
I think I lost.
Oh, we're still here.
No, you're good.
Billy, you appreciate this. With that Alpha Flight book, it was like one of those things like when the Space Shuttle Challenger blew up.
Yeah.
With the Alpha Flight book, I was in New York, and I read that book, and then I learned that Marvin Gaye died.
Wow.
Oh.
So I remember that book, and I remember
the date.
I remember that day.
Yeah, because of comics. Yeah, you know, Mark Teixeira was telling us a story one time, and we were driving back from the Diamond Retailer Summit or something, and I actually missed the exit, and I ended up driving all the way into Pennsylvania instead of going to New York. And he was telling the story of when he was a kid with the whole Gwen Stacy saga and the death of Gwen Stacy, and should I move over here now? There I go. Okay. And just how it turned his whole world upside down, you know? He's like, oh my God. And then with Harry Osborn and the Green Goblin, and then Gwen Stacy, she's dead? What? You know, like, it was crazy. And it's amazing how month after month, how that magic of how those books were, that people would just go, you know, month after month, couldn't wait for the next episode, the next issue. And that's really lacking, absolutely lacking from the mainstream. But, you know, you get things like you look at someone like, say, Brian Pulido, who's putting out 4 48-page books a year. He's
this start to change again. Because with indie comics, I think it start to feel like a new album for a rock band. You wait for the whole year. New book from Billy Tucci. Yeah, come on, let's read it. You know what I mean? You start to get back this feeling again. I remember, well, I'm an old guy, but I remember when I went to the movie theater, I didn't know what will happen in the movie. It's just the poster. Oh, the poster is beautiful. I think it will be a good movie.
Yeah.
And in those days, you have the clip 1, the clip 2, the clip 3, trailer 1, trailer 2, behind the scenes. When you arrive in the movie, you already saw the movie. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I stop it to watch trailers, man, because you can see the whole story in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's disappointing when the trailer has the best scenes.
Yeah,
right?
That's
the worst.
I remember when the first time that I watched Batman from Nolan, and I was so excited to see how this different vision of Batman movie, and I start to see clip after clip, clip after clip. When I arrive in the movie, I was probably watching the whole movie out of order. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, I saw the scene, but then in the order, I said, oh man, so frustrating.
Yeah.
Then after that, I stopped to see trailers. I see trailer until the half. If I have 2 minutes, I saw 1 minute. I watch it 1 minute and stop. That's it.
There you go.
Nice.
Just give yourself a little bit, right?
A little bit excitement, a little bit what John had to see what will happen in the movie.
Yeah.
We lost that, man. We lost.
Now, while we have Super Looper's attention here, for any of the viewers out there that haven't, seen one of our episodes with you on it, I mean, give us a little background on yourself.
John first.
No.
It's you, bro.
Shots from
me.
man.
Oh,
That's
right.
you.
Yeah. I started very little, drawing I think with 11 years old, drawing like cartoons. But when I think I had 13 years old, I went to a place here in Brazil, a store where I founded Batman Dark Knight. That's blow my mind. I said, what? Batman? Because I watched Batman on television, like the 60s, the dance with Robin. I said, man. And then you get Dark Knight and said, man, this can be Batman. And then I went home and then I created the Shadow. It was like copy page after page after page of Dark Knight. It was the same. I copy every single panel and I create my own comic book, my own character. And then I started to draw the kids outside. Let's play. Let's walk with this Katie. Let's play some ball. I said, no, I need to finish my book first. I got serious to the thing. It was a bunch of papers together. I need to finish my book.
Yeah.
It's important for me. And then I get started working, and with 18 years old, here in Brazil, they open an agency. And they agents Mike Diodato, Roger Cruz, Ivan Reis. And I was young. I was 17 years old. And I went there with some sample page. And the owner said, oh, look, you can come here one day a week, and you can learn with those guys. So I learned with the top. Like Michael Deodato was working in Wonder Woman at the time.
Yeah.
Roger Cruz was working X-Men. Eddie Benes was working on another big title. So Ivan Reis was working in Ghost. So on Late Death.
Yeah.
So I was side by side learning with those guys, and I learned it for almost 2 years. But I start to get old and not make money. Send my mom, come on, and the money, bring the goods for home.
Sure,
and I just learning. And then I said to guy, man, if I get some fill-in here and there, some page here, 8 pages there, so it was not enough money. And a guy offered me a good proposition to be partner to release a comic book here in Brazil for a big company. And then I left the agents and start to work in this comic book. That it will be a big release here in Brazil. Some big companies like toy companies, game companies was interested to the character. Was Spirit of Amazon. Mm-hmm. That was a story of 5 aliens that protects Amazon and Indians, but it was very fantasy mix. And we worked almost 1 year in this publisher, but we start to make some big shots like that there get feeling a little jealous of us because we pass. And then I say, man, why we are paying for those guys if we can create inside of the company and get all the profits for us? And then they say, goodbye.
Oh, wow.
And then we get out. We release by ourselves as indie. We have a lot of success. They release a copy, a family copy. We went to lawyers to try to to get some process or some suits.
Yeah.
But the lawyer said, man, you are guys like this size. The company is a building of this size with 3 floors of lawyers. Dude, release before. The tip for was release before then. Yeah. So they will always be the copy. And then we work it at 9 every day, and we managed to release, and was a really success. Then after that, I start to work advertising, working the storyboard. And after that, I met John online on the old website, Digital Webbing. He was looking, in fact, if I remember, if I record it right, he was already with another artist, Tiago, that was a friend of mine, and he was about to he wants to become himself a tattoo artist. He wants to be a comic book artist. So I say, let me see the project. Pass me the email for this guy, and then I get in contact with John, and I did some samples, concepts, and we click it. Like, and 15 years later, we are still working together because even with myself and him working in other projects, we always come to work together. Sometimes he send me a mail, Rod, what are you working now? Can you do 10 pages? Yes, I can do it, John. And then he send me 10 pages, and I do the book. And then I work it with concept art. I traveled to Australia. I lived there for 2 years as a concept artist. I worked for 7 years outside of comic books. But my first passion always was tell stories. Always was. Concept art is amazing to work inside a video game company with many artists. But for me, it's a little boring because sometimes you need to draw front, side, back, front, side, back, front, side, back. This is, oh man, I like the creation part. I like to make the sketch and give to someone else to finish. And in comic book, I have so many challenges as an artist. I need to draw a house, a guy, a girl, action scene, a drama, a face, a close-up on a hand. Man, this is impossible to get bored with comics as an artist. It's impossible. It's impossible, man. And I work as illustrator, storyboarder, because storyboard for advertised company is different also because it's always that shot from the chest. You don't have so many cameras from different angles because it's too expensive to record, to film.
Right.
You need a helicopter to put the camera here, so it's too expensive. It's always, the storyboard is always close on the face, close on here. And comic book, you can give some dynamic and put some hand there. So I always loved that. And then we have been working with Black Tiger for almost 15 years or more, John, right?
That's right.
In this graphic.
Wow.
Yeah, little by little. And then we start to see crowdfunded comics showing up, many guys producing. And I sent to John, I think we have a chance. We have all the book together. Maybe we can put some 20 pages, new pages to fit inside the book to give some fresh, something new. And John said, let's do it. Let's try.
Let's do it, right?
So this one book that you guys have up right now was 15 years in the making?
Yes, sir.
Wow,
yes.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
That's
158 pages. And plus 20 pages new.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That's great. So how did this let's get into this, man. How did Black Tiger Legacy of Fury come to be?
You know what? It was an idea that originally I was actually going to pitch to one of the big two. And as I started to flesh out the idea, I knew it's something I wanted to keep, which is great. But then that gives you a whole new set of challenges. I'd never published a book before on my own. So that was School of Hard Knocks. I'd worked, when I was at Motown, I worked with artists. I worked with pencilers and inkers, but I'd never managed the process. So honestly, I just jumped in, and it was trial and error, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to say that, like, you know, hey, I just got it right from the beginning. I mean, Rod wasn't the first artist that I worked with, but sometimes, like, you start kind of going down a path, you just got to kind of cut your losses. You know, I paid the guy for what he did, but it just wasn't going where we wanted it to go.
Yeah.
You know, at least not right.
What inspired the story?
You know, I growing up, I always loved Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch Kung Fu theater back in California. It was on Channel 5. Me and my boys, we would be at school. We'd be doing fake Kung Fu fighting. You know, I saw a guy from. Oh man! I saw a guy who I went to school with a long time ago, and he says, "You know what?" He's like, "All I remember is you and your friends fake Kung Fu fighting in between classes at lunchtime. So you'd be walking to a class, and somebody would jump you, and you'd have to start doing all your, you know, your
you're making like everything.
The sounds.
Killed my brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How did you?
So I'm a comic book Kung Fu nerd, and I wanted to see the best of those elements in a story, and that's kind of where the kind of heart of the story came from. Mm-hmm. And then the idea kind of grew. I mean, this is really there's generational challenges in this story. The heroine and her brother, they're Asian American, but their parents are like old school Chinese. So it's like you got somebody who looks Chinese, but you know, she doesn't speak Chinese. You know, she doesn't know the culture. You know, so she's like kind of, you know, second generation, but now she's trying to carry this mantle. But there's a lot of history behind it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's a part of it. It's almost like relearning your culture, but staying who you are, because at the end of the day, she's an American girl. You know, and that won't change.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really a story of her as she's journeying to become kind of figure out who she is and kind of be the hero that she can be. It's also a story, a little bit of redemption. You know, the brother gets the power first. He's headed down a dark path. She didn't know about it. Mm-hmm. So it's like you got a lot of family friction, you know, kind of the patriarchal kind of approach. So the family friction, the generational friction, and then just a lot of good old-fashioned just butt-kicking. You know, I'm a big fan of choreography, and I know I've been a pain in the butt to Rod.
Totally. Sometimes so funny. He described it. Rod, you need to draw the arm like that, the other arm coming here, and the hands coming here.
Yeah.
All right. It's easy to draw that. Can you send me a reference? And then he find a 3D model doing some. I said, man, this is impossible, man. We need to do another way. And he was very open to say, man, do your way. It's so funny, man. So good.
You guys could even Skype that. Do you ever do that? Do you have a Skype and then you show them and, you know, I bet you that would save a lot of time too.
John can stand there holding the pose.
But you talk Skype is recently. We are working since 15 years old.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even email was tough. Imagine Skype.
Yeah.
But we managed to make a way and was so funny. It's funny until today, man. It's funny when those things happen because, man, I live in Brazil. I never met John personally, but the mind click it. Mm-hmm. So easy.
It's funny because, you know, these guys, they act like brothers, you know?
Oh, yeah, they got like they got great chemistry here, man. It's funny.
So weird.
Because we've known each other for 15 years, and Rod knows me. It's like, you know, when I write a script, usually there's a lot more in the description than there is in dialogue, you know? But we have a really good relationship. You know, Rod will be like, hey, that's a good idea. He'll be like, yeah, no, man, no. You know? Or he'll just be like, and he knows me. It's like, I'm always trying to do a little bit too much. You know, so I'm like, oh, yeah. So it's like, okay, that's good. Well, then how about this? Well, then how? And so he's just like, okay, stop.
Dial it back, bro. Dial it back.
So
it's interesting though too, is that how John, you were saying about that you were able to find an artist in Super Luper, because and you had another artist, and I'm sure he was Rod's friend, and I'm sure he was really good and all, but he just wasn't right for the project. And I have a very similar story to that. Is when I was doing before She the Way of the Warrior #1 came out, I hired a buddy, one of my best friends still to this day, an amazing artist, to draw the cover. I'm like, you're a better artist than me, you do the cover. And the cover just wasn't right. It appeared as a pinup in issue #2, but it was a great cover, but it just wasn't right. And he got so mad at me. I mean, for literally like months that I didn't use his cover. So then I had to bang out the cover, and that's the cover I did for She. I'm like, so I talked to Debbie, and I'm like, it's just not right. It's just not right. And she's like, well, then you do a cover. And I did the cover, and so many people say it was that cover that I did that attracted them to the book in the first place. So, you get to the point, right? And John, right, do I hurt this guy's feelings? This guy's really cool too, but it may not be just right. And that's why the project always has to come first. You have to think what I mean?
Yeah,
what you think is best for the book, right? So if Rod is like, I don't know, dude, that's a little messed up, I'm sure. And then, John, and as writing scripts, he's probably like, man, what the hell's the matter with this guy? This is a great scene.
Yeah.
What the
Totally.
I have a lot of great misses. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's good. It's good to have somebody like Rod who will objectively look at something and just be like, I see where you're going with that, but no.
Doesn't work, bro.
Dude, no.
Sometimes I did some. I read what he wrote, and I say, "My God, it can't fit in a panel." And then I draw a layout exactly how he described it, and then I draw my version, and I say, "John, look, what is better?" And then I say, "No, man, go in your way. Go to your way." But that's a relationship that grow for years by year. So now we are so he can write just 5 letters and I can draw. I really think like a rock band, you know what I mean? When a guitar play, just look for the drum and say, now go. And then a singer, and everything fits together. So good, man.
Yeah, you just got the chemistry, the rhythm. You guys can flow.
Yeah.
You know what the other one's looking to do, just out of instinct. That's a good quality. But let's head over to the Indiegogo. Let's see this. Let's see what you guys have going on. So what I'd love to do is I'm going to play the video for everyone, and then we'll check that out, and then we'll start talking about it. All right, guys?
Cool.
Cool.
Tiger.
When folks watch it, they'll have to listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, they hear it.
Yeah, they can hear it.
Yep, they can hear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great video, man. That music is awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Thanks, bro.
The
Thanks.
beginning of that is
Well
great.
done.
So tell us about. Give us a synopsis of the story, man. Like, give us a little more detail into this brother sister relationship.
So Black Tiger. Think of it when we think about superhero mantles. You know, if you think about like the Batman, you know, different people have worn the mantle, but Bruce Wayne is really the Batman. You know, Kal-El is Superman, but Black Tiger is a mantle that's been carried by many people over the course of history. And we're just looking at a small slice of history, and we're basically in a time where the power is passing from one man to his kids. And the thing is, you know, the son, he's in the triad, he's going on a dark path, and he's using the powers for wrong purposes.
Yeah.
And then his sister, she gets wind of it, and she discovers the secret within her family, and you know, with help of good old institutionalized grandpa, she's able to stand up against her brother. And so it's really kind of reestablishing the Black Tiger, reestablishing stability in the city, you know, because without its hero, things kind of go nuts in the city. So it's a story of a new beginning for a new Black Tiger.
Oh wow, that's great, and the art's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Great job.
This is a great show about collaboration, Nile.
It really is. It's a great show about collaboration too. And you know what's great about the pair we have on tonight is really kind of the journey into crowdfunding in the independent comic scene. And I think you guys are a great example of, you know, it doesn't matter the distance for chemistry to work. And you know, you've obviously you know, have adopted technology to help, you know, keep you guys in touch. You know, you went from you know, the internet to mail to now. I mean, you could literally do what we're doing right now. You know, there's no bounds or limits. The world is so small now.
No,
you know,
no. And the beginning, I was sending the first series, the first issue. I sending original art for him, for the inker make ink, and now just scanning 600 DPI. And the guy can print there and make the ink, or as I'm drawing using light table, I let the pencil very clear, so the color can even dark the lines, and make the colors. So it's all easy. And I don't know if John mentioned, but we got a successful campaign in Kickstarter first to pay the 20 pages and the print. And then on the second campaign now on Indiegogo, we want to push forward. We want to make a wrap cover. We want to produce another comic too, and on other things that John's planning to produce on this new campaign.
Oh wow, you guys did very well on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we were very fortunate, you know. So did well on Kickstarter, and you know, we're glad to be on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
All right, so you do Kickstarter. What did you guys do? What did you do on Kickstarter?
We did a little over $5,000 on Kickstarter.
And that was your first campaign?
That was our first comic book campaign. Yeah,
dude.
I think we did a shout out for you guys on. Yeah.
I take you.
You know what? This is all looking from. These pages are now. Some of the pages here, I was like, this looks familiar.
When did the Kickstarter end?
This was over the summer.
Yeah, we totally did do this.
Yeah, we totally did. Yep.
Sweet.
We did do a crowdfunding call on that. You know what? And it's funny because if you look at the screen, where's the page? This one right here.
Yeah.
This is the one that I remember. With the two chicks going at it.
Yes, it's one we all remember.
It's kind of like it's girl fight time.
Hell
Heck
yeah.
yes. There you go, bro. Nice. Girl fight. Nice.
Awesome. All right, so I just wanted to check it out. You know, when you said that you were on Kickstarter, I was like, oh, that seems familiar. Very cool, very cool. So let me ask you, I mean, how many crowdfunding campaigns have you done, John?
This is the second comic book crowdfunding campaign I've done right here on Indiegogo. I did, if you look on Kickstarter, we made a short film back in 2014 for Black Tiger. It was a 20-minute film. It had Robin Shou from Mortal Kombat. It had Angela Fong, who used to be a WWE diva, and we made a 20-minute short that won the Spirit of Comic-Con award at Wizard World. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah. John's the man.
It's just a 20-minute Black Tiger short.
Well, that's crazy. So you have a short that can people get this short? Is it still available anywhere?
You know what? If you go to Beyond Time Inc.
Yep.
On YouTube, that's my YouTube page. And what I'll do after this show is, it's there, but I think it's not public. I'll make it public so people can watch it. I don't know, check it out. It was,
or maybe not make it public and make it like a stretch goal.
Make it a stretch goal.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody gets the movie. Everyone gets a digital copy of the movie.
See? Yeah. Thinking, I like that.
There you go.
There you go. Boom.
That's what we do here. Capitalism, man.
I love it.
So you're now. So now you've got 2 Indiegogo campaigns going on. You've got a successful campaign for the same book on Kickstarter. You actually have an accompanying short film that precedes this comic. Now let me ask you now how are you enjoying the indie scene? This new golden age of independent comic creators in the community.
Let me tell you, I'm all the way in, and I think this year was the first year where more of my spent comic book dollars went to indie books than went to the comic book shop. Now I love the comic book shop.
Yeah.
I love. So I'm not saying anything disparaging against the comic book shop, but honestly, a lot of the big 2 books aren't doing it for me anymore. I've seen a lot of these story arcs I've already seen, and I've seen the originals of those story arcs.
Yeah.
So I don't need to see them rehashed. I don't need to see any more, of the crises or the Secret Wars or anything. I mean, I got the originals.
Yeah.
And I was astounded when I saw the original. You can't keep rehashing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So honestly, I've been buying a lot of crowdfunded books. I supported She. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you.
Come on, man. Oh, come on.
Thank you so much.
There's so many good comics that are out there that are in the process of being produced. And I think also, as someone that's producing books, I appreciate the process. Sometimes I'll kind of see folks on Twitter and they're kind of getting mad about the time for producing books. It's like, hey, look, if you're not Marvel or DC, it takes a long time to produce a book.
Yeah. I try to explain that for all the fans and readers and say, man, only Marvel and DC can deliver 23 pages per month because they don't depend of the profit of the comic book to produce the comic book, to pay the artists.
Correct.
They can get 0.1 profit from the movie and investing in the comic book's production. Author comic book is different. We need the money from the crowdfunding to produce the pages and then pay the print and then see if we have profit.
And here's another thing, and I'm gonna let everyone know out here. Rod can draw an entire comic book in a week if he wants to. He can, but he doesn't choose to. It's going to look like he drew it in a week.
Yeah.
He wants to put out his best work. These are creators who care about this. Is their livelihoods. They want to be remembered by work like this. And that's why it might take a few months longer. And no one's out there. Well, maybe Rod did buy a brand new Harley Davidson, and he's running, and John bought himself a new Viper or something like that, and they're driving around, and I'm not going to ride him. I'm putting this money towards that. No, that's not the way it is. The money goes back into the books, and we want to build legacy projects. Even Nile is working on his crowdfunding campaign, and he could have put his book out this year, right? But but we
want the quality to be there.
There you go.
You want the quality to be there. You want to make something memorable. You want people to like, wow, because you want them to go back and support that for the next book.
Exactly.
I always.
It's a labor of love, man. It's a labor of love. If you plan on it being like, oh, it'll only take me a year to do it, but then you start researching and developing, and like, wow, I really like this. I'm going to take a little more time to get. Obviously, I don't want to take too much time, but enough to where you're definitely at the point where you're going to release that product.
Right.
Yeah. I always think like a long run. I think maybe this is why I didn't like Marvel and DC. I got some gigs like that, some offer. Look, can you draw 20 pages in 2 weeks? But you can't sleep. You need to work Saturday, Sunday. This is fun when you have 20 years old.
Yeah.
When you have 40, nah. When you have a kid, I want to play with my kid, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I prefer to give a step back in money to make money and make a long legacy of work that I know that will always come back to me, because I'm receiving many offers now from indie production. Many. I refused a book from a famous writer. She asked me to draw her book, but she wants to release a campaign in September. But I was drawing Black Tiger, I was drawing Detective Dead. I'm producing my own comic book that I want to release with John next year. Yeah. So I said, no, it's too much, man. No. Yeah. I could make a lot of money in the book, but I said, no, I need to finish a book, and I play another book, then I do another book, little by little, slow down. No, I need to get money. No, you get confused. I watched another night, interview with Mike Mignola, and he said that he was only able to produce Hellboy because he's leave New York and moved for a small city to have a small life. Mm-hmm. And he saw many big shots of comic make a lot of money and then spend all the money in a Viper, and then 6 months without money. And then get crazy. Oh my God, I need to get another work. So I always look for Mike Mignola, Todd McFarlane, Billy Tucci, indie, but straight like a sword. You hit the goal and go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maintaining that excellence.
Yeah, that's key.
And then, so how's it been for you guys, though? Because you guys have been doing some other streams, right? Kind of networking, building up. I mean, Rod, you're saying you're getting other offers in the indie scene. Your name's getting out there. John, your name's getting out there as a writer, more and more. I mean, what's your take on the, some people don't like the word, but what's your take on the community out there?
You know what? I love the community. At the end of the day, anytime you have communities of people, things can potentially get messy. But you know what? For the most part, people in this community love comic books. Bottom line. And people are in it for comic books. And, my whole thing is, whether you're using Indiegogo or you're using Kickstarter, to me, that is irregardless of the point. Mm-hmm. The point is making good comic books.
Yeah, and good stories.
Ultimately, sometimes we can go a little bit sideways, but that's what it's all about. And that's why I love the community, because when you can always kind of refocus folks on what we're here for, and that is making great books. Mm-hmm. And when you shed all the other stuff and you realize that, like, we're all kind of in the same game here. We all have our stories of how comic books have touched our lives. We're all, it's more comic books. It's a culture for us. It's a way of being. When you realize that, then you say, like, you know what? It's my duty to be a member of the community. It's my duty to be a member, to make sure that I'm supporting books. And I'll tell you, I'm having a lot of fun doing it, honestly. I've met a lot of good folks, and you realize there's so many talented people out there. There's so many people that have a true love for books and that they're making really good books. And I'm enjoying, this is like a new renaissance, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally feeling that, man. It's like a golden age.
Yeah.
I never saw that before.
Yeah.
This is how I felt like back in the 80s and 90s, man, I couldn't have. I mean, having to choose which books I was gonna. It took me hours to leave a comic book store because I only had a limited budget and I wanted so many darn books. And I'm like, I want all these books. You know?
Why can't I have these? Or as Michael did, why can't I have these motherfucking books?
Exactly.
Sorry, Nile.
No, it's fine, man.
I'm giving us strikes against us.
Well, hey, we're past that 30-minute mark, so we can strike it up.
All right, we got to get Michael Davis on the show.
Oh, I can make that happen.
Yeah, I love
For real?
it.
Yeah,
Be
let's do
awesome.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
Like he could be part of our Icon series.
that. Yeah, let's do it.
He will tell you. Oh my gosh, he will tell you some stories.
Oh yeah, dude.
We just
Oh,
got to
damn.
be ready for Mike to come on. Because when Mike comes on, dude, there is no filter.
No.
Oh,
There's
nice.
Zero freaking filter.
Nice.
That's awesome. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Totally.
All right,
That's
we got that.
great.
We got that recorded. We got that locked in. Mandy Summers says, "Hello to
Hey,
you, gentlemen."
Mandy.
Hey, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy.
Mandy's
you guys
a
get on
nice
her show
person.
yet?
It's nice,
Yeah,
nice.
she's
girl.
awesome. She hosted us
awesome.
on her show.
Yeah,
Really
she's the best.
just-
She's
Yeah.
Prime example of good eggs in the community, right? Just someone always out there doing their own thing, but willing to spend the time to help others. And that's what it is. Like Art was saying on our show last night. It's just the creators getting together and helping uplift everyone. Help someone out when they can.
Yeah, this is so
guide
good.
someone if you
So
can,
good.
and just everyone's supporting everyone's projects, helping spread the word. And I think we've all developed this really great just indie community, man, and it's awesome.
My son is actually excited for Wizard of the War because I end up backing a lot of books that I can't let him read. So he can actually read that one. So he's actually excited about that. So he's like, "Oh, you're gonna get a book that I can read." I'm like,
That's true. That is one thing I see a lot in comments and stuff is, there's not like all ages books. There's no books for kids. There's this and that. Well, unfortunately, I think I said it once. I was like, that'd be all great, but like, your son's not there like with his wallet. Like, all right, what do I have today? Let me put my credit card in and get it, But I think it'd be cool to have some more creators putting some stuff out there. There are a few out there, and what's out there I think is really good. I know Vinny had that Halloween one, which was great. Wart the Wizards looks like it's going to be fantastic for kids and young adults, and probably even old adults like us will probably all like it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all go back. I mean, I still watch the Snorks. Come on,
There
guys,
you
remember
go.
the Snorks? The Snorks. Frank Amazing's laughing. You hear him, people? He's real.
Yeah,
No one believes Frank Amazing is real. They think he's a figment of my imagination.
I didn't think he was
He
real
likes
until
Snuffleupagus.
What's that?
It's Frank like Snuffleupagus.
He is like Snuffleupagus.
That's awesome. We didn't have Frank Amazing. We could have called Frank Snuffleupagus. Or just call him.
This is like Fight Club.
Frankophagus.
Now. It's you. It's like Fight Club.
It is. It is. It's all in my head. None of you
It's all in your
exist.
head, Nyla.
None of you
in your
exist.
head.
It's just me.
Exactly.
I'm really just sitting here. There's nothing. There's no monitors in front of me, and doctors are just looking like, "What the heck's he doing?" And I'm like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
drinking a fake bottle of water.
You're in a home somewhere.
I'm in a home somewhere."
The doctor is his side.
Yeah,
Give me some
I'm inside
pills.
the Matrix. Yeah,
Nyla, it's time.
yeah.
Nyla, it's time.
Yet I think I'm like
Just
eating
fucking
popcorn, and I'm just like eating all these pills.
Just pills. Nyla, stop. It's time. Keep-
That's freaking awesome.
Evil.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm getting over a little chest cold too, so don't mind my coughing. So what's in store for you guys? What's down the future path? You guys have any other books you're working on together, or even separately?
Yeah, we have a big surprise for next year. Samurai story with
So
Black
this is the
Tiger.
crazy thing. We've been working for 15 years. So, I mean, we have, for the next story arc, we already have the next 5 issues completed. And we're
Yeah, totally.
and we're gonna finish it with a 32-page issue that's gonna be crazy. And that's basically for that next book. We're gonna raise the funds for that last 32 pages, but we already have like 110 pages of that completed.
Done.
Wow. So you guys could almost get this going off like a series. Like you could be at a point, excuse me, of maybe even getting like, I mean, do you have like a goal? Like maybe like every quarter you're launching a Black Tiger book?
Oh, that's so fast. I'll leave that to...
Come on, Island.
Brian Pulido can do that.
Yeah, Brian Pulido
he's a machine.
out of the curve.
Come on, everyone could do it, Brian.
Pulido you can pull a Pulido.
Yeah, you can
He's
do
a
it, John,
machine.
and you should do it.
It's a
do it,
machine.
John.
John is very
Pulido.
professional. I believe in John.
John's gonna be like, yeah, man, I could do that.
I know.
And next thing you know, we see it.
Yeah, man, I can do this.
Yeah.
Whatever, thrown out of his house. He's like, yeah, but
He's gonna get off the camera like fucking. What's that freaking Nile guy talking about? What an asshole!
moron in the insane asylum
moron in the
talking
insane
to
asylum.
Amira.
Popping pills.
Hey, just like candy, baby.
Hell yeah! It's like those candy necklaces. I'm like, Oxy, Oxycodone. Why do I know all these names? Don't ask.
John, as soon as we get off, John's tweet's gonna be like, "I'm John Hervey, bitch."
Yeah.
And that's his
Next thing you'll be driving, you'll see me under a bridge.
Yeah.
And I'll be behind him popping birth control because that's all I could find.
Oh man, rubbing alcohol.
Oh damn!
Rubbing alcohol and popping birth control. That's all I could find, man.
You gotta work with what you got.
Exactly. Oh man, great show tonight, guys. You guys are fun, man. You guys are fun.
Well, Rod, I gotta ask you a question, and we gotta get off subject, but I'm gonna forget.
What?
What is up with your country's government? I mean, are they that corrupt that they say they cannot stop the rainforest fires unless they get outside aid from all the other countries?
Man, it's complicated.
What is up with that? Is that like, are they deforestation? Is that what started it? Like, why? You know what I mean? Is there just so much money there? Is there oil underneath there? Like, what is up with that?
Because Amazon is so big. People seeing pictures and imagine the size of Amazon. It's huge. Is to control the borders, you need a full arm. And Brazil is, I think, besides corruption, is bureaucracy. To get something to do tomorrow, you need to fill the first paper, the second paper, and then need to send to lawyer, then get back, and then these past 3 years, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything here takes time to go. Takes time. It's slow. It's a slow process. Now we start to think more liberty in produce things and start to little by little go a little faster. But it's slow. Everything needs to talk. Everything needs someone else need to look to see if they allow to go there to help the forest. Man, it's so.
You need the right stamps, right? You need the right.
The right stamps.
That was
everything, man. Everything. If I want to sell this water, right stamp. You don't have the right stamp? No, you can't do it. You know what I mean? Like here in Brazil, we will never have a company like Apple starting your own garage. Never.
They won't allow it, huh?
No way. The governance guys will show up and wait a minute. What are you doing there? I'm producing a company by myself, producing a computer. No. You have the right paper? No? Pay me.
Wow.
Otherwise,
what's in it for me? Yeah.
How much do you give to me? You know what I mean? So this happened in many places in Brazil. Mm-hmm. Now we start to change, but I see like taking 20 or 30 years to see something near what's the freedom that we have in U.S. as to produce things, to be manager of your own business. The things happen fast. I live in Australia for 2 years. So for me, it was a big difference. To live in Australia, for me that live in Brazil, is like a holiday season. Yeah. You know what I mean? The whole 2 years for me was holiday. I said, man, I can't imagine I can't imagine how he's living here, because it's the freedom and the things that you can have, like, is almost like that. The thing that you can make in Brazil in 5 years, you can have in USA or Australia in 1 year.
Wow. Oh, that sucks. That's frustrating, man.
Yeah, totally. It's totally frustrating.
Now, did you attend the big comic book convention they had last week in Brazil or this past weekend?
No, my friend went there. I couldn't because I got sick on my throat, and my kids got sick, and I said, man, I can't go. But CCXP became one of the big ones in the world.
Yeah, I heard.
San Diego Comic Con is huge. I think it was 300,000 people attended to the convention. 300,000 in the 4 days. Yeah, I said to John, John, you need to come, man. You need to come next year.
Dude, we all need to go.
Hell yeah.
You
all need to go there. Seriously.
Yeah, I think Tim Brett Sweet was there, Rafael Grandpa, Frank Miller, Jim Lee. I came in another year. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. São Paulo is the city where I live is like a country inside a country. You know what I mean? São Paulo is like Tokyo or New York. You have everything, and you have 15 million people living here. So here, everything happens here in this city. So I believe that
people though 300,000.
300,000 in 4
At the
days.
convention.
Yes, in 4 days.
Wow.
300,000 in 4
That's
days.
bigger than New York Comic Con had 275, Nile?
Yeah.
Right? 70?
They haven't broken 300,000 yet.
No, not at all.
No,
Not at all.
neither has San Diego, I don't believe.
Well, San Diego is maxed out at 25.
Yeah.
It was like that. Last year, I went 2 days on Tuesday, right, and Saturday. On Saturday, I went with my kids, and I could walk. It was dangerous, you know what I mean? Because he had 7 years old, so I hold him very tight and say, man, I will lose my kid here because it's too many people.
Yeah.
And I say, man, I won't go Saturday anymore. I went just Friday or Tuesday. And then my friend went this year, and he said that Tuesday was the same as Saturday.
Wow.
Was
That's crazy.
crowd. Mm-hmm. And I believe in São Paulo, if you wanted, we could have 3 of those conventions per year easily, and you'll be full of people. People.
That's crazy.
So next year we are planning to go with a table there. I need to go.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
I need to go. And we will have Black Tiger ready printed and Detective Dads, everything.
Now, would you plan, now being that you're Brazilian, would you have a Brazilian edition? Do you have contacts to print that, or do you guys have plans to print that in Portuguese?
Yeah, we have a similar website as Indiegogo here, named Catarse. It's the same thing.
Okay.
So after we printed the book there, won't be easy because 158 pages to translate to Portuguese. It will take time, but we can print here and release in Portuguese also. Black Tiger, Detective Dad, my own comic. And I want to produce in Portuguese.
Yeah, you got it, dude. You got
it. Yeah. The scene here of indie comics is getting bigger every year. A lot of great Brazilian artists, the twins, Rafael Grandpa, they are making some big names there in US also. So we are bringing attention here. And here we have a huge market of cartoon comic book, like the character named Turma da Mônica is big here, sell millions of copies for kids. It's like a Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Like a kind of comics. So very big here. But now we are seeing a very big scene of author comic book, black and white, drama, action, even Brazilian superhero here is not so well seen here because it's a different culture.
Mm-hmm.
But even now, we are seeing Brazilian superhero.
Mm.
So everything's changed, man. Everything's changed.
Yeah, Ed Bennis is Ed Bennis is doing a book, and I think he's going to come on our show next Monday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, did you get back with the days?
I could check with Ricardo.
Okay.
But I think we're scheduled for Monday with him. He's going to ask him.
Is he going to do Monday? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Right? That's the day that we had free that you had suggested, right, Nile?
Oh yeah, I said we can do Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday.
Okay. Well, Frank, what do you think? Are we okay, Frank? Because we got to get Frank's.
Frank will email his blessing,
Or
he can give the thumbs up on camera. And here, I'll hold my hands here so people can see.
Frank the doctor.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
No way.
Here comes the pills.
Oh no, there it is.
The
See?
pills. Oh, the doctor.
That's a real
There you
hand.
go.
That's a real hand.
Was that green screen?
Oh my God. Niall, you should get like a King Kong hand or something. Like, oh no, here's Frank. Look, and it's just like this fake hand.
It'll be awesome.
It's just like, here's my hand.
Yeah.
And then I come.
I'm convinced.
It's movie magic, folks.
Awesome.
John's like, what the hell did I do? Why am I on the show with these
What the hell am I
guys?
doing with these idiots? Oh my God.
Crazy dudes. Two
Wanna
crazy
come
dudes.
snuffle
That's
up?
why I love it.
Little snuffleupagus.
Yeah, I want to uncover Snuffleupagus, man.
There you
When
go.
I was a kid, that used to piss me off that nobody else could see Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
That was-
But if you get one of those necklaces I was talking about, you'll see like 100 snuffleupaguses.
yeah.
And they'll be called snuffleupaguses.
You start taking more of that birth control and rubbing alcohol.
I'll tell you what, bro. It makes me feel good, right? But sometimes I am a bit emotional, But hey, I'm not worried about getting pregnant. Yeah.
You think about Snuffleupagus and how lonely he is, and you get all emotional and you start crying.
I'm like, no one can see Snuffleupagus.
He's
Pop,
so
pop, pop,
lonely.
pop, 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 pop. I did a circular motion. Oh shit!
Oh man. So
I'll wake up to some Twitter posts. Yeah, that crowdfunding comics guy Nile's taking birth control. He's wasting it. That's for people that need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really taking birth control.
Yeah.
It's in my Pez dispenser.
Loser.
That's the best way.
There you go. There you go.
That's it. Just popping them like
Just popping them like a Pez.
While you're driving?
I pop up Donald Duck's head, and I'm boop, birth control. All right, gentlemen. Well, Mr. Tucci,
Yes, this is
it's
great.
that time, brother.
awesome.
It's that time.
Guys,
gotta-
what's your plans for Christmas and New Year's, guys?
Mr. Luper.
I'll be with my family, my kids. I'll give a toy that he wanted a long time. I can't say here, but he will be very, very happy.
Nice.
And my family all around here. The house of my mother, full of kids, full of people. Best thing ever.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing better than that.
Nice.
Nothing better.
I've got
Nothing
family.
better.
We this will be our first Christmas in Houston. I mean, we've got 3 kids, so we've got some other family out here. So just gonna enjoy Houston for Christmas. Pop over to Louisiana a little bit. Got family over there.
Nice.
Just eat way too much. So I mean, this whole thing about
Oh yeah.
you don't try to lose weight this time of year. That's a New Year's thing.
I know.
Exactly.
Dude,
Don't
what's
even
wrong with
worry
me?
about it. You gotta prep with that stuff. Like in the morning,
Yeah.
don't go for a protein shake. Just get some cornflakes and a soft
That's
stick
it.
of butter.
That's
dip
it.
it in. And
No,
then just
just-
eat it.
Damn.
That's it.
Take the
Get the
flakes,
arteries lubricated and then go to town.
That's it.
Put like the what is that? That Christmas drink, that eggnog. Put that
Ooh, eggnog.
eggnog in your cornflakes.
Actually, speaking
There
of
you go.
eggnog, because Mandy, she does the show and they they test out different products and other things, and I think they need to do a taste test, an eggnog taste test. Get like 30 of them. You're out
Oh,
there, Mandy.
man.
Listen, I want you to get 30 different eggnogs, and you and Peter Gilmore are going to drink them.
All of them.
Oh wait.
All of them.
No way. No way.
Yeah, they sample them, just taste testing. They don't have to drink the whole thing because that's nasty.
How
That's
fun
nasty.
would that be?
That would be fun. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we'll get Maybe we'll all do one together.
Be awesome.
Dude.
Be awesome.
And then we can do wine tasting. And we try a whole bunch of different wines. And we just have a show and just like...
You just see our glasses spinning. And then we like...
Draw and whiny.
That's a bit nutty, huh, Billy? That one tastes nuts. Like nuts.
You want to have a... Yeah, we'll do like they have the drink and draws. We can do something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's different. It's wine tasting. or scotch tasting or something.
But Mandy says we got to do the taste test ones with the alcohol.
Well, yes, of course. That's what we're talking about.
And then we really will be like, remember when I said snuffleupagus? Who wants another taco? I'll have that 12 box of tacos from Taco Bell. It'll be great.
It'd be awesome.
Party pack.
Nice.
I started screaming, "Damn the meatloaf!"
I said I wanted mac and cheese. And then you just whip the plate. And then you're just on the ground laying, eating it, and kind of just like laughing and crying like David Hasselhoff with his cheeseburger.
Oh my God, remember that?
Oh, jeez.
Terrible.
That was a dark day for Michael Knight.
And now let's show everyone our crowdfunding call out. David Hasselhoff.
You know who would love this show? Black Wolf would have loved this.
Yeah, he would have.
Love this stuff. Us laughing and stuff, and we had Black Wolf was one of our biggest supporters and friends, and as we talked about it earlier, and in case anyone joined, and he passed away, and we're dedicating this show to him, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and we really miss him. But this is totally a Black Wolf show, that's for sure, man.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird not having him in the chat.
Black Wolf.
Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have had a drink for a while.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
That's
Cheers.
Right. Cheers.
Tally-ho.
Cheers to Black Wolf, man.
Wolf. Sir.
He's a good dude.
All right. Well, listen, guys.
But let's. I'm gonna just. We'll do our crowdfunding call out real quick, and then we'll get back to work, Billy. We'll get back to work.
Yeah, and then we'll share, and of course, everyone go out there, please support these guys. Black Tiger's awesome.
Yes.
Let's make it happen for them. Rarely will you meet two as gregarious and fun and passionate creators as we've had today on the show, and it's an honor to have you guys on. And thank you very much. This is great. You got a great project. Anytime you guys want to come on, please consider us.
Yeah, definitely.
For when the next book comes out, we'd love to have you, and maybe we'll all be partying down in San Paulo.
That would be awesome.
Please come.
Let's do
I will
it.
take you everywhere, man. On the dark place of São Paulo.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. That's how we got to end the show.
Nile, come.
I'm coming. Let's go. Let's eat and drink. Let's dance. Let's do whatever we can do down there. You know what I'm talking about?
Do what we can do.
The only thing, leave the mobile phone in US.
Yeah. Why not?
Right?
What does that mean?
They'll take
it. Yeah.
No. So nobody can find us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There you go, John. Everybody.
That's it.
Party all the time.
And you better hope my wife doesn't watch this show, dude.
Yeah.
I know. Shit.
She's all good. She's
Yeah,
not
Priscilla,
They don't like comics, dude. That's why we do this.
Not going to
Where are you going? Nowhere. Take your phone. No.
Oh, no. We have the best pizzas here.
Let's.
I've heard this. My buddy.
Pizzas, man.
Oh
my buddy went down.
Like that.
New York, and I heard that in France we had the best pizzas, and it was. And I heard that in Chicago too.
Yeah. You come.
You buy.
This stick.
You buy.
Oh, sure.
No, it can't be thick, Rod.
We have something here. I don't know if you guys have there. What's the name?
Cheese.
You pay like I don't know, $10, and you eat
buffet.
Any pizza we want.
It's a pizza buffet. A buffet.
Yeah.
All you can eat.
All you can eat. And it's come and came and came and came and came.
CC's pizza.
But man.
But I think we're going to need that, Nile. John, I think we're gonna need a buffet after that.
Well, you need the carbs because you need to soak up all the delicious juices we'll be having.
Like Super Luper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except it'll be Super Luper as we're being dragged into a cop car. I wish I had my cell phone.
Just is sleeping in the corner.
All right, boys, you guys are awesome,
fellas.
Thank you, guys. Thank you
guys,
so much.
man. Really appreciate you guys.
All right, everyone, we're just gonna jump in real quick. We've got our crowdfunding call out tonight. This comes from us. I'm not hitting. Now I'm all flustered. They're having too much fun. This Harpies origin, Anya. So if you get a chance, check this out. It's cool. It's about some female trained snipers. The art's awesome. The storyline is awesome. If you get a chance, head over to Kickstarter and check out Harpies Origins, Anya.
That's cool.
It is cool.
That's really great looking book.
Yeah.
It is like Russian snipers, sexy Russian women snipers. Can't go wrong with that.
That's all the Russian I know, so I'm just gonna say da. Black Russian. Da.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Just before we go, John, how can everyone stay in touch with what you're doing?
You can get at me at Beyond Time Inc. on Twitter and on Instagram. Also, Hervey-John on Instagram. I don't know if anybody's still on Facebook, but I do have a Facebook account. It's Beyond Time Comics.
Excellent. Rod, how can everyone stay in touch with what you're doing?
Well, for now, Instagram, hot.looper, Twitter, Rod_Looper, and now on YouTube doing some streaming. Also,
bro.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just look for 2D art and my name. Super Luper Show. Get that, Billy.
There
Nice.
Super Luper Show.
I definitely will.
I'm sub to it.
Please sub.
Yeah,
I'll sub
to
to it. I'll sub to it as soon as I get off with you guys.
Please,
sub it, bro.
Thanks,
all right, everyone. Thanks so much, and we will start getting our promos up for next week as we get our guests all rearranged and set up. The holidays, make times a little tough. So next week we'll be doing 2 shows, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do on the holiday weeks. We might just kind of pop in and out as we feel. We'll see what's going on, and now things die down a little bit with the holidays, so we'll see who's around and who wants to chat. So everyone, we'll see you next week, and once we have all of our guests rescheduled locked in, we will then post our lovely promos. So again, Super Luper, thanks for coming on. John, my man, this has been great. Stay in touch.
You guys.
Let us know what's up.
Nile, Billy, thank you, brothers.
Thanks for being part of now the crowdfunding comic family, guys. Thank you.
Sure. Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
All right, everyone, have a great night.
Indeed.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into Crowdfunding Comics. We look forward to hanging out with all of our crowdfunding fans every time we go live. And don't forget to click the link below and subscribe to our channel. And there's a little bell, you may want to hit that too. This way you get all the great notifications when we go live and when we upload some awesome content. You want to follow us? Sure, go right ahead at Twitter at CrowdFundComics with an X, Instagram Crowdfunding Comics, and Facebook at Crowdfunding Comics. Till next time, crowdfunding fans, we'll see you soon.